各位好，欢迎到生活100%。今晚是一个很好的好消息等着各位，所以我们热线会提早开放。那今晚呢，是我们请到了这个移民专业律师，是一个 certified specialist， 是 Attorney Love 到摄影棚来为大家很有简单图示带来这个好消息。Attorney Love, welcome again.
Thank you. It's so nice to be back. Thanks for having me back.
Today you're going to bring up very good news, right? It happened yesterday of a hearing, right? What is
yes,
that?
well, what's coming up is that, of course, everyone who's been paying any attention after the election found that finally there seems to be an agreement, a meeting of the minds, if you will, that something needs to be changed in our immigration system, a major overhaul. Of course, it's been proposed before, but this time there are two big plans. One is a bipartisan plan, known as the plan by the Gang of Eight, and the other one is another major plan is put forth by President Obama himself as like, if you can't come up with something, this is my plan.
Okay.
And of course, they talk about the usual things, cracking down on, the border and
right.
unlawful employment of undocumented people. But one thing that's very interesting for me, particularly as a business immigration attorney, is that both plans discuss giving green cards, they call it stapling green cards, to people who get diplomas here, master's degrees in the STEM professions, and that would be sciences, technology, engineering, and math. Yes.
Okay.
And so that's great news for anyone.
Green card for them?
Yes, that's great news for anyone who's been waiting for many years looking for a sponsor. They won't have to do that. You come here, you're going to work here, we want you here. That's the plan coming from Washington, and hopefully, this gets approved, but it seems like it has a lot of support from all sides.
Okay. So Attorney Love 就在这里讲呢，他说今天呢就是昨天就有一个这个听证，那听证是这个总统呢选上之后的一个重要的一个行动，他是把这个职业我们叫做 STEM 啊 ，STEM 是Science, Technology, Engineering and what's M? Math, OK， 还有跟数学哈，凡是你是这个4种Master Degree，OK， 硕士毕业生，那是在这里是有一个绝大的机会呢，就是你可以直接获得绿卡。
And PhD as well.
OK, of course, PhD 如果你当然是博士生那是更好的。So it's too good to be true. So let me verify one more time. If I graduate, for example, next year, and I'm a master student of software engineer, for example. So I have a high chance to graduate and get.
Well, if either of these plans are to pass or any legislation that's even close, but unlike the rest of the part of the plans where there's big differences. For example, the path to citizenship. A lot of people don't like anything that they think is an amnesty. On this particular point, there seems to be a consensus that there's a shortage of the high-skilled workers, and we want to keep them here. We don't want them to be starting their Googles and whatever else somewhere else. So
exactly.
The actual procedures of how this would happen, of course, have not yet been written, but the idea, the philosophy seems to be pretty popular that if you were to graduate, then we will let you apply for a green card. Yes. And
let me do that. OK， 所以这个 Attorney Love 讲呢，他说现在虽然还没有写下来，只是在一个听证阶段。他说，但是这一个法律听证呢，看起来双方都没有持不同的意见，而是非常统一的说，如果你是属于这种 STEM 的优秀人才，那我们现在确实不希望你跑到别的国家去就为美国服务。So this is great news. So even it's not put in writing yet. Looks like there's a high percentage.
Well, there have been many hearings, and of course this has happened in the past as well, but there are many hearings going on right now, and a lot of them are from people who are in the, for example, like the head of the School of Engineering at Duke, they're telling them that, look, we are losing the brightest minds because of this, and so Congress is, of course, listening. But the fact that you have bipartisan plans coming up with this type of consensus is, pretty big news, because in the past and even right now, there's a very large backlog from people where many of these STEM professions come from China and from India in particular. They wait, 5, 10, 15, 20 years for a green card. Why? If they can go to another country and get something right
yes,
away.
They can go back to China. China is pretty boom up now.
Exactly. So this is a way to be globally competitive. So I'm hoping that after these hearings, a bill goes before Congress, and it would have to get through both houses. And if it makes it, I hope that this main point would stay, and I believe that it will. Some of the other points, they're more debatable, but I believe that this one has a pretty good chance.
所以这个Attorney Love 就在讲，他说其他的一些小细节也许是就是会改变的，但是他相信这个STEM， 也就是你如果是属于这个Science、Engineering 这些行业 ，Math and Technology。那你是又有硕士学位，那你是有非常高的机会呢，就在这个即将要通过的这个法案里面呢，就直接可以获得一个美国的一个绿卡。Then talk about the quota. We always know, okay, if I came from China, there's a limitation. Say this number. After I fill up this number, I need to wait next year, right? So the quota is quota a problem?
The quota has been a problem, of course, because there's a cap on the percentage from each country that can come here. And if you have a big, huge amount of people from one country, and this is the same for family-based immigration and also employment-based immigration.
Oh, really? They all share the same quota?
Where certain countries have a long wait, and that would be India and China. And in family-based, like Mexico and the Philippines, but not, so much in employment and the skilled labor. Everyone else doesn't have the same quota. Pretty much, if you have a master's degree and your job petitions you, as soon as you get a visa, you can go right for the green card. But if you're the same job in the same company, in the same department, but you're from China, you might wait 8 years. And if you're from India, you might wait 20. All from the same exact job, everything filed at the same time. So actually, President Obama's plan addresses this, and he would actually like to lift the cap. I'm not saying there's an unlimited number of visas, but that there's not a cap on each country, so it'd be an even playing field for everybody.
Okay, so that's going to be fair for the same office from different country, but they was wait the equivalent long period.
Right. So the people who aren't waiting now might have to wait a little bit more, but the people who are waiting a long time, it'll kind of even out. Of course, it's not that popular with some people who are going to wait more. But that's one plan.
这也是一个好消息哈。Attorney Love 也讲说，那奥巴马也在这个时候尝试把这个国家的 quota 这个事情拿掉，就是国家配额。他说，在现在来讲，如果你是从中国来的，你可能要等比较久；如果你是印度来的，你可能要等更久，就是因为这个国家配额的限制。那奥巴马当然不是把所有的配额限制都拿掉，但是他让这个事情就均等到我们没有这种国家配额的限制。我相信这是个绝佳的好消息。那我们也知道这个 Attorney Love 还要为我们带来更多的好消息，所以我们先休息一会儿，待会儿回来。欢迎回到生活100%来，今晚是一个绝佳的好消息，是 Attorney Love 为我们带来说，昨天的听证会呢，这个两党都看起来非常统一的，让这个新的一个法规即将要通过。这个就是如果你是属于 STEM 是这个 Science、Technology、Engineering， 而且还是 Math 的这些 degree 的呢，你就有一个绝佳的机会可以获得直接获得一个绿卡。So there's another part which is also good news for immigrant, right?
Yes, there's another part in which both major plans seem to agree, as well as, there's other plans, there's not just these two, is that there needs to be a way for the people who are here undocumented. And by that, I don't mean just the people who entered without papers, perhaps across the border, but also people who came on a tourist visa or a student visa, maybe an H-1B work visa even, but then fell out of status, but didn't leave, because they know if they leave, they won't likely be able to come back. And they say there are 10 million such people here.
10 million such
people?
Wow.
And, at least. They think that might be as high as 30 million.
Wow.
But these people, what both plans propose is to give them some sort of temporary legal status, but they need to, both plans say you would need to learn to speak English, pay back taxes, pay fine, get in line behind other people. The only disagreement seems to be whether or not, to give these people citizenship. A lot of people think it's not fair, but it seems like all parties are in agreement that they need to get some sort of legal document and.
Yes, some legal document I think is reasonable.
Exactly.
Yeah. 所以 Tony 也讲到，昨天的听证会一个好消息呢，对于某些这个非法居留或是非法入境的人，都是一个绝佳的好消息，就是。为了使这个社会更健康哈，也增加这个税收哈，因为这些人可以有收入可以付税，所以也在考虑，也在这个两党也在协商啊，希望有一个法律能够让这些人走出这个阴影，然后也可以获得这个豁免。豁免是说豁免这个处罚。So talk about the penalty. Waiver is waive the penalty, right? Penalty before is pretty serious, right? It's 3 years and 10 years. What is that?
Yes. Well, we've been talking about proposals to make people legal here, and that brings us to actually another point that we were discussing earlier. Something that Obama was able to do, because all of the rest of this is up to Congress. He can propose plans to, tell people this is a good idea, but he himself actually had some powers. So, for example, right now, people are here undocumented who want to change their status if they crossed or they stayed out of status, except for certain cases where you married like a citizen, if you came on a visa and overstayed, married a citizen, it's waived. But for everyone else, they will not let you change your status to resident here or even make yourself back legal into a non-immigrant status. Instead, they say, fine, you have an approved petition, go outside, go to the consulate and pick up your visa. But as soon as you step out, if you've been here more than 6 months, there's a 3-year bar to coming back. Or if you stay over a year, there's a 10-year bar. So no one wants to go and apply for a waiver outside because that's what you go out, you're barred. You apply for a waiver. What if they say no? You wait a year and they say no, and now you're stuck 9 more years. People who are here with families that they're supporting, they don't want to take this risk, so they sit here stuck. And what Obama did is called, what people are hearing is an I-601A provisional waiver. It's called a waiver of inadmissibility for unlawful presence. So unlawful presence waiver. He's saying that starting March 8th, you can file for this waiver here after you get an approved petition. Let's say your wife petitions you. You can apply for the waiver here, and if you can meet the qualifications to say yes, it's going to be a hardship to her, and they say yes, then you know when you leave the U.S. to go pick up your visa, you won't be stuck out for 10 years.
10 years, and I don't need to go. I don't need to leave.
You do need to go.
I do need to go.
You do need to go, but you already know that the waiver has been granted.
Okay, wow.
Right.
Okay. 所以这也是一个好消息，也就是我们知道有一个叫601A 的一个法律 601A， 那这个观众朋友也可以自己查一查看，这个 601A 也就是说你可以不用是离开美国去申请这个豁免，而是可以在美国就直接申请豁免。如果你收到的是一个yes， 是一个你可以就是获得豁免的话，那你可以在离境之后呢，立刻就收到你的这个合法居留身份，然后回到美国来。Okay, let me tell. So can we open the hotline?
Sure, let's
so maybe
do it.
people started to think about if they have a question, right? 我们的热线电话1-888-717-1688很好记。717-1688可以欢迎打电话进来，我可以为您翻译。今晚是这个 Attorney Love 在这里为大家分忧解难。So this is extremely good news. I don't need to risk, right, to go out and maybe stay outside for 10 years, separate with my family.
Right, exactly. So let's say you came here, on a B visa, you overstayed, but your parents maybe were citizens and they petitioned you. Well, right now, even if your petition was ready, you've been here out of status so many years, you can't change. So you would have to go out to the consulate and go, I don't know if I'm going to come back. Wait a year.
Petition again.
Wait a year out there.
Okay.
Ask for the waiver, and then you wait, and then they say no. Okay, 9 years.
9 years.
Even if they say yes, you've been gone a year. So the new way to do it is your parents file a petition. It's ready. The case is now ready to go. Instead of going to the National Visa Center and to the consulate, you would say, hey, stop the process. I'm applying for this waiver. You send in all the evidence. Look, my parents are sick. I've been taking care of them. I drive them to their appointments, right? And also I have a wife. And
so you actually threw out a good case, right? The good case, may have high percentage say yes. Let me translate. 所以这个 Attorney Love 在这里讲说，他说你其实是要看你手上是不是有一个好的一个有利的证据，是帮助自己得到这个 waiver， 得到这个豁免权。他刚刚就讲了，比如说 我是非法居留在这里，但是是因为我父母生病了，这是一个好的理由，因为我父母生病了嘛。So you have a sick parents, right? I need to take good care of them. So this is definitely a good case.
Yes, a good example would be maybe the older son. By the time the parents were able to change their status, he was over 21.
Oh.
But they don't want to send him back.
Of course
right?
not.
He's been waiting. They've been waiting a long time for their H-1B, like I told you.
Yes.
Finally, they get their green card through the work, but their son's now 22.
Yes.
He finishes school for some reason, or he doesn't go to school. He doesn't get an H-1B. He falls out of status, but his parents don't want to send him out for 10 years.
Of course not.
So now the petition's finally ready because it takes many years for it to become current. And they say, what are we going to do? Do you want to go out? No, because I'm too afraid to go out. So if they file this petition, usually actually it would have to be, the person that would have to file the petition would have to be, there's a certain group, immediate relatives.
Okay.
But still, let's say you have a permanent resident wife,
Yes.
for example. All right, so you file this petition and you show extreme hardship to your parents.
Right.
Oh, better. You have a U.S. citizen kid.
Okay.
She turns
US
21.
okay.
You're 40-something. Your parents are 70. Your U.S. citizen child petitions you. You can get this waiver showing hardship to your parents. So you're the older son. You're the one who takes care of them. They live with you. You drive them around. They're residents maybe. You can actually show that doctor's bills, all of these things, declarations from people, the financial evidence, and
show I need to stay here.
Yes, and if the government agrees, and the standard is high, but it's not impossibly high, and they say yes, then you know, okay, fine, send my case to the consulate. I'll go to Guangzhou. I'll go there, and I will know that this part is taken care of, and then I just have to pass the normal green card interview to, not have crimes or pass the
that's
medical.
normal process.
Right, normal process.
Normal process.
Exactly.
OK， 所以 Attorney Love 就讲了几个相当好的 case， 比如说你有在等 H-1B 的时候，那等的这个时间很长，你的孩子已经长大了，超过21岁 ，21 years old， 那你怎么办呢？所以这个时候也是你可以想一想，你是不是有一个好的 case 来使用这个 waiver。同时，我在这里也建议各位，就是运用一个好律师的时候了。那现在又是该让大家休息一会儿，我们休息一会儿，待会儿回来再看 Attorney Love 带给我们什么更精彩的好消息。欢迎回到生活100%，今晚是一集非常精彩的，我们带来很多好消息啊，然后是从昨天的这个国会的听证会开始的Attorney Love 说这个很多朋友会受益，尤其是我们的新移民。那在这里我们再 review 一下这个 ，so let's review a little bit. We first talk about if you are the STEM, which is you are in the science field, technology, engineering, or math, right? Okay. Who is the math people? Give me one category.
Math people?
Yeah.
Someone who has a degree in math.
Okay, degree in math. Okay.
So, I mean, there can be various ones, but a lot of people are mathematicians. For example, the ones who work for actuaries, insurance agencies, they usually have like mathematic degrees.
Yes.
And also the people who are going to teach math.
Okay. 像 attorney 讲说，比如说数学老师啦，精算师，你帮这个保险公司精算的，这些都是一个math degree 的一个事情。那如果你属于这个的话呢，你就很可能在国会通过这个法案之后，你可以如果你是 master degree， 你就可以直接获得绿卡。So this is the first good news. The second one, we said if you there's a waiver, right? You don't need to go out to wait for 10.
You don't have to go out to wait for the waiver. You already know there will be less doubt.
Okay.
Substantially less doubt that you'll be able to come back. In other words, you don't have to leave, of course, until you already know you're coming back, which is good news for a lot of people who have people suffering here, and it's very hard for them to support them with no documents. And we also talked about the fact that they want to make, people who are undocumented give them some sort of out of the shadows. And what else is coming up is, of course, it's H-1B season. And so people need to start getting ready for that if you want to work as a specialty worker.
Why? It's still early, right?
Well, April 1st, they think they're all going to be gone. And I believe that April 1st is on a weekend this year, so I believe it needs to be filed by Friday, Friday before in March. And I know it's only, the beginning of February. But if you have a foreign degree that needs to be evaluated, if it's still hard for you to figure out if your job's going to be able to pay you enough, we have to file certain documents with the Department of Labor before. You do not want to be holding off until March 15th.
Of course. That means the economy is gradually going up, right?
Yes, because 2 years ago, it started. First it was in January. They ran it. So April 1st was the first date for October. Even after October, there were still H-1Bs available till January.
Wow.
Then,
to January.
Right,
wow.
and then that was 2010. 2011, it was like, I believe, November 22nd. They cut off, so they went backwards 2 months. This last year it was June.
June,
So it's predicted that the economy has improved such that the first day. Right, so you can't be waiting around.
The first day. Wow.
That's the prediction.
所以 Attorney Love 在这里提醒各位观众，如果是你是要申请 H-1B 的这个签证的话，也就是你毕业找工作。那现在他说，这个市场由于经济比较好了，都预测会在 April 1st， 也就是4月1号。直接就把这个所有的 quota 都用光，所以如果你 file 稍微晚一点，还是 Attorney Love 刚刚讲4月1号是一个 weekend， 是一个周末，所以你必须要提早申请。So that weekend, that means you cannot file at the weekend, right?
Right. So if it needs to get in, for example, on that Monday or whatever, we need to file it by Friday. So there's going to be a lot of immigration attorneys who that weekend are going to be going crazy. And trying to get everything done that week. And, you know, we've been talking a lot about professional visas and people who are married to citizens and undocumented people, but there are also many people who are here visiting who might just have an interest in coming here, not necessarily to live. They're still legal. They're not related to anyone here. And it's not just H-1B visas, which is, you know, just for professional workers. There are all kinds of rare visas for people who are like artists, or musicians or religious workers, and some of them are rare. People don't talk about them as much. And if you want to come here, you know, you should really talk to an immigration attorney because it's not just about these professionals.
Yes, I do have a case who's my friend. Okay, 我实际上有一个真实的例子，是我一个朋友刚到美国来的，我也希望用这个机会跟这个 Attorney Love 请教一下。And actually, if the audience cannot or don't want to use English, they want to use Chinese to communicate with your law firm. Is that possible?
Absolutely. You can write me an email in Chinese, and I will.
In Chinese?
Yeah. Go ahead. You can write me an email. If you go to our website, actually, our website there's a Chinese version. You'll see me on it. But if you write to me, you can do that. Or if you call and you leave me a message, we'll call you back together.
Wow.
So, I mean, we work with many people who are in China who do not even have like one word of English.
Okay, good. 所以如果你跟这个 Attorney Love 是你prefer 用中文的话呢 ，Attorney Love 说他也接受任何中文的 email 往返跟中文的电话。都是可以接受的哈，所以也抓紧这个机会，明后天打电话给 Attorney Love. So I have a friend who is a musician, came to United States, and who love to play the organ. So that's the very rare chance the local church have a great antique organ who attract him, right? So after he play, he really want to stay.
Right.
Stay here for longer, or maybe stay here to get a green card to play forever.
Right. Well, you know, that's actually interesting because if you go for a green card, it does take many years, and you have to stay, you know, in status during these years.
Yes.
If you're very extremely good at it, let's just say you're the top of your field.
Musician.
Of course, if you're like Yo-Yo Ma or something, you could apply straight for. You know, you could apply straight for EB1 green card. You don't even need to be in it. You could just go straight for it.
Okay.
If you're, you know, nationally acclaimed.
Okay, we have 30 more seconds.
But there's also many other visas that you could have. There's cultural exchange visas, visas for musicians. If you get itinerary and a sponsor, someone will say, yeah, come play at our show and stuff. So there are actually a variety. We call them the alphabet of visas. So if you're in that type of situation like your friend, you should call someone who's a very good immigration attorney, like myself, and discuss your options.
Okay, so there's really lots of options.
Yes.
Normal people don't know.
And you mentioned that this was at a church, so
church,
if you're a religious worker, you can come here on a religious worker visa, even as a musician.
Wow, religious workers visa.
Yes.
这个 Attorney 最后还讲了说，如果你是这个宗教工作者，他说还有一种叫做宗教签证，这也是我从来没有听过的。Wow, time fly so fast.
I know. I didn't even get to talk to my religious worker who's like a hula leader. So yeah, so I'll be happy to come back.
Okay, so for sure we have other chances. I'll invite you back.
Perfect.
Okay.
especially as this goes forward.
OK， 所以各位朋友，今天就只能讲到这了，时间的关系，我们祝各位晚安。那我们下次生活百饭同一时间再见。